Hi guys, thought I'd just show you this engine that I'm working on at the moment. This one has a bottom end failure, and whilst a lot of you know workings of an engine and what happens when they fail, I thought there might be a few of you who have been told what the problem is with your engine without actually knowing what had caused it or what was happening inside. So you could take it to a car mechanic and they might say, oh, it's bottom end failure, it's spun a shell is the common issue with the bottom end failure. Now what happens when it spins a shell, I'm going to show you here. So on the bottom of the engine, so the cylinder or the piston is at the top, piston head, and then this is the conrod, the connecting rod. So this connects the crankshaft, which sits across here. It's not here in the picture, it normally sits here in this channel, and then the piston, the top end at the piston where the combustion happens, pushes the piston downwards, which pushes the conrod down and in turn pushes that part of the crankshaft. So then the next one fires, the next one fires, and that's what turns the crankshaft. Now in these connecting rods, the crankshaft sits in here and there's a cap which sits on there like that and clamps across the crankshaft. Now during the engine this is always spinning, so at 3000 RPM this is spinning 3000 times a minute, and it needs to be well lubricated. There are oil channels in here, and it also needs to have a bearing sleeve in here. Now the bearing, this is an old bearing, but at least it's intact. So this is what it should look like. You should have a half of the bearing in the bottom like this, and then you put the other half in the cap, and then that all clamps around the crankshaft. Now these bearings are meant to stay in place like that. So they're meant to stay as a circle and not move around. They're meant to sit stationary in terms of the rod and the cap. Now what happens is when these are oiled correctly, there's no problem. What happens is when you get oil starvation, now that can be either low oil or in some engines, if you corner fast, the oil moves out of the way in the sump, it moves to one side and it picks up air instead of oil, and that can cause some temporarily oil starvation. When that occurs, these go dry, even if it's for a moment. If they go dry, they'll get very hot and they'll tend to weld themselves together or weld themselves to the crankshaft, and when that happens you get them spinning. So it can be in a position where one is like this and the other one is like that, and in which case, you know, the friction here is too much usually for the engine to cope with that, and it will either seize up or at the very least you'll get these breaking up and depositing bits of metal around your engine. So that's what's happened to this one. If I show you this one here, you can see that a bit of the bearing shell is still stuck to that rod. It literally welded itself on with the heat. So this rod is now useless. But once they get overly scored here, you can machine them down and polish them to a certain extent, but once you get pitting like this, you're going to need to replace it. And again with the crank as well. This one here is the same. This one here, you can see very well there, that shell is spun and it's stuck onto that rod there. So a couple of them are okay, but yeah, this is going to need new rods, new bearings, and a new crankshaft in the case of this, because number one, which is this one, this has been very bad and has scored the crank beyond repair. I'll show you the crankshaft now. So this is the crankshaft out of the engine that you were just looking at, and number one here, you can hear that. It's very scored. I mean, you can get these, like I said, you can get these machined down in machine shops. You can take a millimetre or two off these, but you know, this is going to be too far gone. And the car that it's out of, it's out of a Nissan GTR, and you know, the power that produces, I don't want to risk this failing, because if this isn't smooth or the right size, then you can have problems. What you can do is you get these machined down. So say I machined a millimetre off this, a millimetre smaller, you can get oversized shells. So the shells that you fit over that, the bearing shells, you can get oversized ones, but I think that is it's going to be too much to take off. I wouldn't want to risk it. So unfortunately, it's going to need a new crankshaft in this one. This is the cradle that goes on the bottom of the engine. So the other engine you saw there, the bottom of that, the crankshaft goes in, and then this cradle comes up to cover the crankshaft. These are the crankshaft bearings. So the shells that you saw on the end of the rods, they're the rod bearings. So there's, in this case of this engine, there's 6 of these, 2 there, 2 there, 2 here, and then the crankshaft itself has its own main bearings, which are these ones. Again, they're the same design, just slightly larger for the crankshaft itself. And if it had oil starvation, then you could find that these are damaged as well. These aren't too bad in this one, but in the case of this engine, like I said, it's going to need a new crankshaft anyway. But yeah, I just thought you might like to see that. You might have heard the term spun shell in an engine, or oil starvation, and wonder what it caused. This is typically the damage that it would cause. So yeah, typically the parts to repair an engine failure like this are expensive. The crankshafts aren't cheap, the rods aren't cheap, even the bearings aren't cheap, but you know, it's what you've got to do. Either that or source a second-hand engine. So yeah, I hope you found it useful. Some of you just might like to have known what the term meant and seen it in an engine, so there it is.